What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire, the fifth film in Legendary's MonsterVerse, directed by Adam Wingard, who also, of course, created 2021's Godzilla vs. Kong. And we've been getting a lot of Godzilla, we've been getting a lot of MonsterVerse lately, because last year, 2023, featured Toho's Godzilla Minus One, which won the Oscar for Best Visual Effects, and is celebrated as perhaps the greatest kaiju film of all time. For me personally, it certainly is the greatest kaiju film I've ever seen. Absolutely over the moon for that movie. Did a full review on that. Check that out if you missed it. And we also, of course, got on Apple TV Plus Monarch Legacy of Monsters, the first TV show in the MonsterVerse. And that's a show that I also reviewed in full that I liked, a fair amount. I thought it was pretty solid. That was a prequel show set way back in the continuity of these films. And now we have Godzilla Kong the New Empire coming out at kind of an unfortunate time due to that proximity to Minus One, because Minus One was so strong and so widely recognized and frankly successful, like few Japanese movies can be in the US at the box office as well. So, not that there was a lot of pressure on Godzilla Kong the New Empire. You see the box office is doing very, very well. You happy the franchise is still very successful, the Hollywood version of Godzilla. But to me, Godzilla, Kong, the New Empire, it's just a bit weaker than I wanted it to be. And I think the biggest sin with this movie, which I enjoyed for what it is, it's a fun time. But unfortunately, it almost doesn't take anything seriously at this point. And when you combine that with the fact that the human characters that are in the film are so weak, so forgettable, so lacking in characterization and personality and anything to really do from a plot perspective, this movie, it just kind of feels like a lesser version of its predecessor, Godzilla vs. Kong from 2021, which already felt like, the series had kind of strayed away from, to me, its amazing beginnings with 2014 Godzilla from Gareth Edwards. There is fun stuff here, but ultimately, I don't know if any of the set pieces are particularly engaging or memorable. Frankly, some of the blocking and the visual presentation of these set pieces, which of course are completely animated, it doesn't stand out as that cool. And frankly, the Hollow Earth aspect, which of course, began in the previous films, we've since jumped the shark with this from a sci-fi and believability standpoint. That's not a problem for me, but I just wish it was a bit more engaging. Like our big bad guy here, this evil Kong, effectively, nothing that cool about him. He's kind of one note, and it's really a Kong movie first, which I don't have a problem with. But Godzilla, I don't know, he's kind of middling in the film. You kind of want more from Godzilla, who I think is the more popular character overall, right? But Godzilla doesn't get to do a whole lot, and when he does have these kaiju fights around the world, they're short, and some of them are kind of visually indistinguishable. It's just a bit lacking to me. I'm not even trying to engage with the human characters at all. You have Rebecca Hall and Brian Tyree Henry back from the previous film. It doesn't really matter. I'm not even worried about that. I think Dan Stevens is having a good time as a newcomer, very Ace Ventura-y as it's been compared to, and the humor, the comic relief is fun. I just wish that comedic and light tone that these movies bring you as this ridiculous, action that you get. I just wish there was a bit more weight to the plot. Like when we have these world-conquering heroes or characters, Godzilla, ostensibly a good guy in this movie, still slaughtering people inadvertently, even if he's not attempting to, whenever he does anything in a city, right? And the movie kind of shies away from that. There's just no depth or weight to anything that really happens in the film. And the whole stuff with Rebecca Hall's adoptive daughter from the previous film, and this lost indigenous tribe of people from Skull Island and from the Hollow Earth, all of that is also super half-baked to me. It doesn't really land, and you just get a lot of exposition out of that stuff, to be honest. So you just kind of have to go for the ride and just be with what you're seeing on the set piece front. But unfortunately, I just don't think the set pieces are that great. Nothing compares to the Mecha Godzilla fight from Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla King of Monsters from 2019, a movie I really disliked, honestly. But even the fight with King Ghidorah was pretty memorable in that. Kong Skull Island, I think the zaniness of it has a bit more personality than just the general lightness that you get with the New Empire. So I'm kind of two minds where I'm very okay to just turn my brain off and be like, hey, this is not going to be like -1. It's going to be pretty sci-fi CGI fuckfest. Just go with it. Have a good time. But much like how Transformers movies function, if the animated stuff doesn't really land for you, it's not being done at a high enough level, it's not pre-vised effectively enough, I don't know how to put it, but like, if those action set pieces aren't hitting for you, not standing out enough for you, there's not a lot to latch onto, because there's just no character anywhere. I, of course, would love this franchise to continue, and I expect it will off the success of this film at the box office. I hope the success of this film, frankly, propels Legendary to pay for another season of Monarch. Maybe we can move that series up. It was serving as a sequel to Godzilla 2014, thus taking place before King of Monsters, before this world in the MonsterVerse was so open, where just the presence of Titans, the presence of Monarch was public knowledge worldwide. It's probably more expensive to move that show up, though, where you have more CGI, more Titans and stuff. I don't know. I would like that show to continue. I thought it was pretty fun, and I would like this series to continue as well. I enjoy it. I'm not sure where the Kong character should go. Like the whole stuff with like the baby Kong, the young Kong, and the other Kongs that he discovers in the Hollow Earth. I wish it landed for me more than it did. I think the Hollow Earth stuff is completely untapped potential with this franchise, and frankly, we haven't got anything too cool with it yet, but it's also kind of endlessly open if you just can conceive something more engaging. Overall, I feel like I'm coming across as very negative for a film that I broadly had a good time watching the entire time. I'm really just kind of comparing it to its past success as a franchise and just hoping for more, to be honest. So I think I would just like a little bit more tonal balance in this franchise and just a higher degree of set piece, intrigue, I guess you could say. But yeah, Godzilla Kong New Empire, to me, it's a step down from recent entries, and of course, is no comparison to Godzilla -1, obviously. But for what it is, it's still kind of turn your brain off, laughingly ridiculous good time. So for that, there's something I think for a lot of people here. But if you're looking for some depth, you're not going to find a lot of it with this one. But yeah, let me know, how did you feel about Godzilla Kong, the New Empire? Did you like it more than me? Please let me know. If you did, why? And for more movie reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.